Today on the Ever Onward podcast, we have Matt Bauscher, owner of Bauscher Real Estate. He is the #1 residential real estate company and broker in Idaho. It's going to be great to have Matt back on. It's springtime. Things are heating up in the residential world. We wanted to hear what's going on with the market and talk about some of the big projects he has, and of course, a little bit of Boise State sports. So today we have Matt Bauscher. Matt, thanks for coming back, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's time.
It is time.
Spring's here. This before. Spring's here, and I thought it's time to have you are #1 residential guy in the state of Idaho. You've got your finger on the pulse of everything going on. So I thought it's time to get you back and say, hey, what's going on out there? How are people feeling? And then I wanted to talk about a couple of giant projects.
Yeah.
But talk first about just the market, rates, sentiment. It's spring.
Yeah.
Trees are blooming.
Yeah.
People are back out looking at houses. How's it going?
I love living in Idaho, I'll tell you that. My backyard, every day there's a little bit more foliage.
I know.
It's a special time. Every season, every 90 days, people that
Yeah,
are always moving
great?
and shaking. Every 90 days you get something new.
Yeah.
I love it. And obviously with residential real estate, now until November is kind of we're farmers, right? It's time to.
And that's a thing, right? Like you hear it, but that's a thing,
Yeah.
right? Winter's over. People are like waiting. What's the sentiment right now? Because I know nationally, internationally, interest rate. I mean, there's just so many things to navigate. But what are you seeing out there on the street?
New construction is definitely leading the way. I mean, you saw we're #1 in the country. 40% of every home is new construction right now, which is, I'll give you an example. Arizona's 8%, California's 8%. We're 40%. Thankfully, we have room to expand.
So even though you hear supply and demand, we've got the builders are building.
Oh yeah,
and those homes are selling. It's just not fast enough, right? Or maybe not enough, but they're selling.
Well, and part of the reason why it's 40% is people that own their house, they're not as motivated.
Right.
Unless
they're locked in at a rate that they're just not moving.
I call it unless there's a D event, you're paying off debt, divorce, death, you have diapers, diploma, you have downsizing, all these reasons that are monumental to make the change. If you're just kind of content, you're probably not going to act. So that's why new construction percentage has gone so high. I mean, in Canyon County, where I grew up, it's over 50%.
Wow. I
mean, 2 houses sell, guarantee one's going to be brand new.
So historically, again, that number is usually
10 to 15%.
So 10 to 15% new construction.
Yeah.
All the rest of it was people changing, moving.
Absolutely.
Homes on the market.
Yeah, and the national builders have changed the landscape a lot. I mean, every single one almost is in town, which we didn't see that earlier in my career. So they've seen the opportunity.
What are you seeing on the supply side of new construction? Haven't had. Is there a lot of it coming out of the ground right now, or are the different bigger major local Idaho developers? It seems like there's a lot of new projects.
There is a lot of new projects. And what people, the consumer doesn't realize is this is years and years of working.
Yeah.
Like we'll talk about the ranch, the Scott family, the ranch going. So right now we're releasing prices in spring of 2024. We started this project in 2021.
Let's start there just because I know it's a huge, first of all, great family. So the Scott family, Joe, and then Brian's done this with you, but talk about the ranch.
Yeah, Brian's been boots on the ground since day one, but it was like a scene off The Godfather. I found the family from Sun Valley. They've owned this land for many, many generations. They get on a plane. I kind of pick them up at the private airport. We take them out there. We all, we tour the land, and then we go have dinner in the back room, and it was really, really cool. But today you've seen the infrastructure and the lakes.
So talk about the location.
So it's North Eagle. So it's basically Beacon Light, just north of Eagle Road. It was a 191-acre parcel that was hard to find in prime North Eagle, close to everything. And it's 34 custom home sites. So it's acreage. It's gated. It's acreage. It's never been done before.
I drove through it. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
My good friend lives James Roberts lives right there.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
I don't know if we'll ever have another one of this scale because there's not 191 acres out there. And then the money that they invested on the infrastructure. I mean, they brought city water. They have full irrigation, 11 ponds. It's gated. It's private roads. It's curb gutter sidewalk for acreage.
Yeah.
That's never been done before. So I'm honored that I have been a part of it and I get to represent it.
Well, I'm not surprised you're the one doing it. So you're out now.
We're now selling
for a long
lots.
time I was asking you. I was
Yeah.
like,
No,
and,
we're
and
waiting,
and you were
waiting.
like, hey, we're waiting for
Yeah.
the right time. So it's live.
Yep, it's finally, we're starting to take offers.
Do you have a website or anything like
We
that?
do. It's therancheagle.com. We're not on MLS or online yet. It's kind of pocket selling
Yeah.
for now until we can get final plat in 30 days.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, as excited as I am about that one, let's talk about the Bannock.
The Bannock.
So a little story behind the Bannock, I want to. So, big downtown 4th and Idaho project for us was initially slated to be multifamily. With all the changes, long story of the changes, we're like, hey, what is the ideal thing to do here when we kind of took it back over? And you did a feasibility study for us, by the way, which was super good.
Which was so fun.
75-page. This thing was like metrics based, the whole thing. And you came back and said, hey, there's a definite deep market for condominiums at this location. And that's one of the things about the location. You hear with real estate, location.
Oh, no question.
But it is the thing, right? And so you're right there in the neighborhood feel, but walkable to downtown. And so, but it wouldn't have happened without you, Matt. So your team has dug in, toured all over, and came back, made all the recommendations for us to convert from multifamily. So the exterior of the building stayed exactly the same balcony, same look, same feel as it was, super high end. But then on the interior, you've really taken it over.
Well, and Boise is my heart and soul, right?
Yeah.
Boise State Bronco. All my homes have been in Boise. I love Boise, and it's exciting to see what's happening out west. But we don't have the supply in Boise, specifically. Probably the best part of downtown Boise because it's the quiet side downtown Boise.
Yeah.
When you talk about 4th and Idaho, 4th and Bannock, it's not busy.
No.
It's a neighborhood quiet where you want to live.
Uniquely, though, that's why it was such. When Ken Orm came to us, we're like, oh my word, this is because it is a couple blocks from downtown and a block really from St. Luke's.
Oh yeah.
So you got $1 billion being spent on their expansion. It will be so. You think about the valley and healthcare.
Oh yeah.
And they chose literally. It was back when I was on their leadership team, like 15 years ago, is when they said, "Hey, this is gonna be where we plant our major regional healthcare system." And so they're spending $1 billion, and it's under construction right now. So you think of all the healthcare that's going to be right there, jobs. Really jobs from starting all the way through in healthcare, and you're surrounded by all the other industry down there. But you're walkable, and then uniquely you hit it. It feels like you're in a neighborhood, though.
Well, and you talk about the hospital. I mean, Bam and Nia, my 2 kids, were born at that hospital. We lived in that hospital actually for 3 weeks when our daughter was premature. I have so much emotional attachment to that hospital and that location. But then we were at the forum yesterday, and you were talking about the investment into Micron, and now you're talking St. Luke's. Our state isn't the Boise State.
Yeah.
I mean, and Western Idaho. It's a really good time, a pinnacle time in our community and the economic development. And what's exciting is the future. But what I love about this is so many of the downtown buildings are either on busier streets where it's loud. Here you're a couple blocks away from walking to it. But also all the out of state money that puts into these apartments. The homeowners, the Idaho born and raised people, they can't get any of that equity. They just pay rent forever. And those guys are clipping coupons, while this is actually a project that somebody can have ownership in.
Yeah.
And as we know, are we going to be better or worse in 5 years? I think we're going to be better as a state. They can ride that equity wave and actually join the train instead of get left behind as a tenant.
One of the things you've told me from the minute we met and said, "Hey, Matt, can you help me out here?" was amenities, and you just said, "Hey, this is different. They gotta be. It's all about amenities for these units." And so you've also handpicked and designed every amenity that's going into this building.
Yeah, we wanted amenities that was people would hang out and gather. You could have friends over before you went out to dinner, and you could, sit there by the fire and talk. And then obviously for me, big is a workout facility. Instead of having to go to a gym and drive and commute, you have a workout facility. So now there's no excuse. You have no excuse not to work out because you're right there on site.
Yeah.
And then there's a balcony outdoor that you can enjoy the view and living in the heart of Boise. There's just so many things we're excited about, and it's, we're counting down. I'm seeing the live ticker on how it's going. There's guys working there sun up to sundown.
Yeah, and we have a big topping out ceremony coming up here in May, and it's going to be excited. I mean, we get C of O on these units in February, and you really have it. You're launching right now.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you're launching the ranch and you're really kind of launching the Bannock push here this
Completely
next month.
different buyers too.
Completely different buyers downtown in Eagle. But before even really launching, you've had tremendous success. We've been very pleased. You're way ahead of schedule on taking deposits.
Yeah, go on the Bannock's website. I mean, the website is so cool because what we're doing is we're going to actually show you. You can walk through the units. You can see the finishes.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, there's the website right there. It is changing the Boise skyline. We're so excited about it. But we're going to, before you can put on hard hats and actually go through the buildings individually, we're already under contract on many, many units, which is exciting. I personally want to buy one in here to have, as an investment, as a legacy.
I want to tell you, and I'm not just, this is not hyperbole, man. Your team is unbelievable. You know what? I know you come from an athletic background. You're a team guy, right? You've spent your whole life team, culture, team, right? And then I've watched you run your business, but now kind of partnering with you and seeing the inner workings, like what's behind the name. It's unbelievable team.
They make up the team. They really do. I mean, they know that I would do anything in the world for them, and more importantly, their families and their future. That we're all just buying in. It's like I like to try to be the '96 Bulls. The most wins ever. You got everybody doing their part. You got Dennis Rodman getting the rebounds. You got Pippen doing everything. You got Jordan. You got Steve Kerr shooting. You got the best coach in Phil Jackson. It's just everybody clicking, but we're also hold each other accountable. If one person is lacking, we can get on them out of love because we all want the same thing. And when you're rowing the same way, you become just miles and miles of separation from, we don't even look at kind of competition. It's all internally, which a lot of people try to compare, where their numbers are. We don't even worry about competition. We are all focused about ourselves. The rest takes care of itself.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing to watch it happen. Because you see it, sometimes you look at, and this has happened to me a few times in life where I'm like, oh, that guy, he's got it going on. He's a leader. He's all this other stuff. And then you'll see what's behind the work, the effort, the hours, the time, the culture, right? And you're like, okay, this is legit, built from ground up on authentic, genuine principles. That's why you're successful. So it's been cool, and man, I appreciate all you've done. So those units, for going back to our project, you can get online.
We only have 64 to sell. I mean, I wish you could give us more to sell. Can we do part 2 in 10 years? Because this has taken 15 years for a new high-rise condo building to be for sale. The last one was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
For as far as a high rise, there's been some 4 and 5 story stuff, but nothing that's been of this scale.
Can you talk a little bit about the units?
The units are, we only have 5 and 6 units on the 10th and 11th floor. It tops up at close to 150 feet tall. That's a cool look at our amenities on the floor. On floor 7 is kind of our hangout amenities. We also have amenities on the ground level. The views are spectacular because you got Boise State and the valley and the train depot to the south. You got downtown heading west. You got the mountains. You got Table Rock. It really is a pretty spectacular no matter what unit you're in.
I love this thing you've done where you actually show the units and how they lay out and how people can pick a floor plan that fits them. And you do have a mix of working families that you have people that traditionally would have rented. That to your point, now you're putting those dollars towards equity in a downtown property. You've got St. Luke's right there, but then you also have some with a little bit larger units for people that may need that. So I love the mix. You've done a nice job, kind of, because again, that's your world, right?
Well, and there's so many different people that this, you have people that want a second home here and they want lock and leave and they want to be in the hustle and bustle and they want the grandkids to come over and then go to dinner and do all that. But then you have the young business professionals that don't have time for a big yard. Yeah. And you have people downsizing. You have, the kids just got out of high school and now they don't really need all that. It's such a mixture.
And then you think about just the pricing of downtown properties. It's pretty competitive for housing. And it's interesting because, people, there's a lot of, if you think about just the world we live in, everyone talks about housing.
Yep.
Everyone talks about affordability. That's what everyone says. So we need lots of options.
Absolutely.
Everything.
The way to control cost is to get more supply.
And if you think about, we need apartments. There are lots of different kinds of apartments, all the way from the Arthur that's beautiful that just opened downtown in apartments. You need apartments. You need townhomes. We need condos. We need starter homes. Yeah. We need kind of we need everything right now.
Yeah, and you know, us locals, sometimes you can get grumpy at the commute and some
Yes.
of these things, but you also want affordability, right?
Yeah.
So imagine that we didn't create strategic projects and the cities weren't. They were saying everything's denied.
Yeah.
I would equate it to like there's 2 golf courses.
Yeah.
And they could charge $4,000 a round, and if you want to golf, that's your only option. You'd be forced to pay it. But instead, if we can get multiple, hybrid
It's
projects,
actually a
out
really
there,
great analogy. So what I've loved about converting, it's like putting a 69, 63 to sell subdivision in the middle of downtown.
yeah, then you don't have to maintain anything.
Yeah. I know it's been great. Okay, I want to get caught up with you too. Can we talk Boise State a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I light up when you say that.
We've had some great signings, Matt.
Oh man,
Let's talk
the
about
NIL
this.
is crazy. Like I get to hear some of the behind the scenes
I
conversation.
don't
It
hear-
is wild. It doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. Some of the numbers I'm hearing, the kids aren't worth that. I'll just flat out say it. Once they get out of this college,
I know that there's this confidentiality thing, and you're on the inside of the inside. But is there any stories you can tell us?
the Tennessee one is now public. I mean, you are going to get $2 million as a quarterback at Tennessee. You hold out and say, I'm not going to practice. The coach says no one's bigger than the program.
So that's the kid that just signed at UCLA
Yep.
now, and I heard
It's half the money.
it's half the money.
So he wanted $4 million. And this is a good life lesson for all college students, because sometimes pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered.
I love that.
You talk about the chemistry, and we were talking about team.
Yeah.
You talk about, I'm not going to practice for $2 million. And he was good, he wasn't great. But you hold out on your brothers in the trenches and say, I want more money, you lose the locker room. He said, nobody's bigger than the program, you're out. Then every other AD and head coach in the country says, do I want this? Do I want this personality? Do I want this prima donna? And he ends up getting half the money at UCLA. It's a really good learning lesson.
It's a good learning lesson, but I'm still thinking that kid's still going to make $1 million next year.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah. But you look at Ashton, everybody said leave, go get 7 figures in the SEC, and he's going to be a top 10 draft pick and get a $30+ million guaranteed contract. Pretty good to stay, wasn't it?
That guy's like,
And everybody in Boise loves him.
It was so funny because I listen to sports radio, and on the way in, the national stuff on Fox, and on the way in this morning, I came in really early, but the program that was on, it was all about Ashton Genty, all the way from my house in on this national Fox sports program. But as I was thinking, I'm thinking, can you imagine the impact to a university in Boise, Idaho, of having someone like that do what he did, come back,
Oh, yeah.
the run they had, the Heisman run he had, the way he carries himself, the way he portrays himself, the way he talks about this place,
Oh, yeah.
and the money he took to stay versus going anywhere he could have. There is no way to quantify the impact that one dude had on a state. And that's not like,
oh yeah, the university's easy to say. We're going to get better enrollment, views. It was millions and millions of dollars of impact for the university.
Yes.
That's easy.
Tens of millions, probably.
Tens of millions. The city's easy to see.
Yeah.
But the state impact that he has done in a classy way of integrity, and that's the definition of our state, right? The backbone of what we stand for.
And the way he carries himself, Matt, is you like. I was, because they were playing a couple of his interviews, and I thought you could not feed those words.
Yep.
You couldn't to a human to say, like, JD, the school, everyone's got to be just like,
oh.
And it's so authentic, it's so genuine.
It is.
The draft's next Thursday, right?
Yep. It's next Thursday. I took my son to the pro day. It was the coolest experience.
Oh, talk about that.
Oh my gosh. All 30 scouts are there and Genty's running. The other guys are working out, and it's just explaining to him what's going on. And it's really, really cool.
He is built different, man. I mean, I know that's like one of their taglines, but when you watch that guy running, his
you
shirt
imagine
off,
trying to tackle him coming full speed at us? Oh my gosh. I couldn't tackle him in a phone booth.
And you wonder about his durability.
Oh.
And then you see his body and you're like, okay.
Yep.
I get it now.
Yep.
I get it now. This guy's he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Where do you think he's gonna go?
I think Raiders 6. The GM kind of said that his son's going to disown him if he doesn't draft him. So unless he goes earlier than 6, which is probably a long shot, I see him going 6 to Vegas, which would be a good excuse to go to Vegas.
Yeah, they were talking. One thing I hadn't considered, they were talking about the perspective of the draft. Like if you're a team And there's only, I guess they're saying on the way in, there's only really 7 offensive linemen that are like elite. So some of this is just not about him being like maybe the best
Yeah.
player in the draft, but when you're an NFL team and there's only 7 elite offensive linemen and you've got a quarterback and that's your hole as a left tackle. Some of this is really positional where people go, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that, but I can't wait to watch.
Well,
it's gonna be so
and,
fun.
I mean, you talk about Saquon Barkley winning the Super Bowl and what he did. That helped Ashton tremendously, saying
Because
it's
running,
a copycat
because
league.
running backs have been like, if you go back 8 years,
Yep.
and how they've been paid and kind of, hey, they're kind of disposable.
Yeah.
Just get a young kid from Alabama that was a backup and throw them in and pay them a tenth of what you would pay.
Yeah.
The
The Boise Legends are doing well. Kellen got the head coaching job of the Saints. I mean, the Boise Legends are doing well. It's good to see.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
We're so lucky to have this here.
Yeah. You look out at your views of these glass. I mean, it's just, you pinch myself every day how grateful.
Can we talk basketball?
Yeah.
I know that's your passion. Talk about these latest signings they have.
Yeah, the UCLA point guard is going to be really, really good.
That was all over social media, so he officially kind of
he's
signed
coming,
up.
which is amazing because obviously losing.
He started like
Cardenas.
60-something games down at UCLA.
Oh, yeah. And he's tough and he's a competitor. And losing Cardenas, obviously, he was such a great point guard. To lose him and to lose Tyson. Oh, losing Tyson's so tough. But we get a local kid back, Georgetown transfer. He's from here. He had committed to USC a month ago. I mean, that's the kind of player and talent he is. He started every game at Georgetown. To get him, he's about 6'10" and skilled, and he's going to be good.
Yes.
And then our returning guys, I mean, I'm always excited. Now we get in the Maui Classic, so it's excuse.
Are you going over?
I think I'm going to go. It's an excuse to take the kids and the wife to Maui and watch some basketball.
I need to go.
I don't know if we'll get in it. It was the first time we've ever been invited, so you don't know if there's going to be a second time.
Right?
Yep.
Plus, it's Maui.
Yep.
Leon's awesome.
Yeah. He's a very servant leader, very humble. The leaders who have humility, I feel like, do a lot better job.
Yeah.
Like you talk about Spencer, you talk about Dickie, you talk about Leon, you talk about you. It's when people sense that, I think they want to perform better and work harder.
Yeah, I just, every time you hear him talk, same thing. You're like, man, we're so fortunate to have these people leading right now.
I need a new president. You're on the board for that, right?
Yeah, I've been with JD a lot lately because we're co-chairing a subcommittee on the president search. We may talk about a little bit about that. I think there's a lot of we have our second listening session today at 11 down at Boise State. We had one Monday, and then next Monday is a Zoom kind of virtual that people can get on.
You try to get down to the top 3 by a certain date.
So here's the latest of the latest. I think what they're going to do. My guess. This is purely just me guessing, but I think they'll put an interim in because I think it's. You can argue, and I think it's a very good argument that this is the most important hire in the state of Idaho
By far.
like
Currently
that,
on the table, yes.
That may sound like, well, it's just, but it is, because with the trajectory of the university, by the way, if you look at what's happened when Marlene got here and you just see graduation rates, what's happened on the academic side, and then the hire of Jeremiah Dickey and what's happened on the athletic side. And just that guy is, I mean, he's just unbelievable.
Yeah, he is.
He is a transformational, like guys like that in the world come along very rarely.
Oh, yeah.
They just do. I mean, I
love being around him. I get to be around him at least once a week, and I love it.
It's unbelievable. So you look at his trajectory, the university's trajectory, and you get the right president who comes in who can take advantage of that momentum. This is the most important hire in the state of Idaho.
Yeah.
And I know that the committee, I know that the state board, and I know that the committee led by David Turnbull, I think everyone knows that. And you look at the makeup of those committees, and then I want to talk a little bit about the process. So they've got these subcommittees. We're doing these listening tours right now. And I think I've been surprised. The first one we had, people were like, well, we didn't know that this was we thought someone was already picked. I'm like,
no.
This
and I
is
like that there's business leaders like Turnbull on this board who see the big picture of where this thing can go.
Yes, and then I do think it was really wonderful 2 hours of listening to people talk about what they think is important in the next president. authentically listening. And you look at our board, our little board, we got Alan Dykman.
Love Alan.
And, Neil Nelson and Garrett Lofto. There's just a few of them. And I'm like, that's our subcommittee.
Wow.
And all of these guys, what's been cool is when they're all attending these listening sessions. You got the CEO of Simplot.
Wow.
Put that in perspective on a subcommittee.
Prioritizing the subcommittee. And
when I called Garrett, and I'm like, hey, Garrett, I mean, guys, like, you look at international businesses that are privately held, they're not like one of the top 5 in the country, right? And I'm like, hey, will you serve on a sub? He's like, I'll be there. This is a big deal.
The amount of talent right here under our little umbrella. Like, I get to sell Vivek's house, and the CEO of Albertsons. It's like, and I'm just trying to pick his brain, like leading Pepsi and 250,000 employees, and I have 17, and it's a lot. I'm like, just getting to be around these kind of people on a subcommittee. Are you kidding me? And right here,
and they're on a subcommittee committing to coming to all these listening sessions and being part of putting the report together that's due on May 5th. Like. Wow. So for everyone listening, I mean, it is. I think they're going to do the right thing. I think it's going to be smooth as fast, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we're going to try to get as many candidates, the right candidate, make a really good hire, make a recommendation. I think the target probably is, realistically, I think early on it was like, let's go find someone. And I think now it's going to be, hey, let's really get the right person.
Yeah.
So
it's a big hire, like you said.
It's a big hire. But again, the other nice thing is I get to be around JD a little bit more right now.
Yeah.
That guy's legit.
Oh, yeah.
Legit.
Elite.
North end zone's looking.
Oh. You going to get tickets in the North End Zone?
I can't. No, I don't. I don't make enough money to do that.
Shoot.
I'm not gonna. I'm just a simple guy, man. But I think there's only like, how many suites are there? There's only like.
There's not very many.
There's not. I thought you would have one.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm trying. I want to get down there. The players run through before the game.
Maybe we could split one.
There we go.
I don't think they have any left.
No, it'll be like a timeshare. Have 4 of us go in.
I'm a timeshare guy, right? No, exciting things. It's just been, and I know it's a huge part of your life, and you've been so committed and helpful to the program.
I love it.
Guys like you that are played there, passion for it. I can't imagine the impact you make every day just being a representative of the university. Lucky to have you.
No, I love it. It's definitely something that's a big passion.
How's your family?
They're doing really good. My wife tore her Achilles, so that was a big roadblock. It's a big injury.
I tore my Achilles in the 3-on-3 basketball tournament at St. Luke's.
Really?
And I had this girl that was guarding me who was awesome, and I put a move on her, and I popped my Achilles, and it was the end of my old guy basketball career.
That's why.
But how's she doing? Because she's recovering. It's not an easy thing.
She's already walking. It's been about 3 weeks. She's a trooper. She's tougher than me, that's for sure. I mean, she was wanting rehab day 15, and they're like, slow down, and she's like, no.
Hey, so I sit by you at the basketball games, and your kids are the cute. They're the cute. Your son is like a mini you. Because you go nuts at the games, right? And he gets up, and it's like, it literally, like, I got to get a video one time because he takes his hat off, he throws it, he does the same kind of gestures. But I got to tell a quick story. So I'm sitting there watching one day, and like, you're so into the game, and I can see they're asking you for like popcorn or candy or something, and you're just like literally. Like this is not like, no one's going to call CPS or anything, but like they're asking their father for like some treats at the game, and you're like pushing his hand away. And so I'm texting you, I'm like, hey,
feed him.
Uncle Tommy can like go get these guys some popcorn or something.
They got 42 snacks there, and they want the 43rd one.
But the funny thing is you don't even see the text till like 2 hours after the game because you're so into it. Yeah. So I saw your wife. I'm like, hey, if I ever need to like oversee this thing to make sure that they're taken care of, I'm happy to jump in and help. Because
he's motivated by sports. In the mornings he doesn't want to wake up. If he has a game, I'll be like, you have a game this morning. He'll go like this. Oh yeah, boom. Like he's very into it.
He is a cute. They're so cute.
Thank you.
How old are they now?
6 and 10. Naya's 10 and Bam's 6.
Is he only 6?
He's only 6. Yeah,
Is he only 6? Yeah. I would have guessed like 8 or 9.
Yeah, he's been sitting on the court since he was 2. I said he was 5 back then.
You have to lie. I took my grandson, and one of my favorite guys down there comes over, like, and he's wonderful, and he's like, hey, how old's your grandson? I said 5. And I checked the rules, right? He's like, he is? Yeah. He's 5 in his heart, baby.
Yep.
He's mine. That's cool. That's awesome. Hey, thank you for all you do.
No, thank you for having
and
me.
Thanks for coming on.
This is
Thanks
awesome.
for the update. And we got to end. Go Broncos.
Yeah. Thank you, Tommy.
All right,
I appreciate
thanks.
it.